Here's something that might shake up your reality. One of Hollywood's biggest stars has been secretly sharing profound quantum physics concepts through his comedy. Ryan Reynolds isn't just breaking the fourth wall, he's questioning whether walls exist at all.
That's fascinating. And what's really interesting is how his seemingly casual comments about consciousness and reality actually align with cutting-edge neuroscience research.
Well, let's dive into what modern science says about this. There's this groundbreaking concept called the controlled hallucination theory by neuroscientist Anil Seth that suggests our entire experience of reality might be more like a simulation than objective truth.
So when Reynolds says things like, maybe we're not actually here in interviews, he's accidentally echoing what quantum physicists have been saying.
Exactly. Oh, and here's where it gets really interesting. At the quantum level, particles don't even have defined properties until they are observed. It's like reality itself is responding to consciousness, which is pretty much what Reynolds has been joking about all along.
You know what's fascinating about his approach? The way he manages to make these incredibly complex ideas accessible through humour instead of getting all philosophical about it.
Right, and look at his choice of roles. In Free Guy, he literally plays an artificial consciousness questioning reality. In Deadpool, he's constantly breaking the fourth wall. These aren't random choices, they're vehicles for exploring these concepts.
And even his marketing campaigns seem to play with these ideas, like that aviation gin ad, where he created this whole meta-commentary on advertising itself.
Well, what's particularly striking is how he handles these heavy concepts with such lightness. Instead of getting existentially overwhelmed, he turns it into something playful and accessible. It's like he's found a way to dance with the void.
That reminds me of Buddhist teachings about how true freedom comes from seeing through the illusion of self. Reynolds seems to embody that naturally, doesn't he?
And you know what's really interesting about his public persona? He's constantly deflecting praise, making jokes about ego, and questioning identity. But unlike many celebrities who might do this as false modesty, there seems to be something more authentic happening here.
The timing of all this seems particularly relevant too, especially with AI and virtual reality becoming such big parts of our lives. It's like he's modelling a way to handle these existential questions.
You know, that's a crucial point. We are living in an era where questions about consciousness and reality are becoming increasingly important. Recent studies show that about 40% of young adults report experiencing some form of existential crisis related to technology and reality.
That's such an interesting statistic. How does Reynolds' approach help people deal with these kinds of existential questions?
Well, look at how he handles his own anxiety. He's been very open about his struggles, but discusses them with this mix of humor and detachment. It's like he's putting into practice this idea that we are not our thoughts or feelings, we are the awareness watching them.
And he manages to do this while being one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood. That's pretty remarkable when you think about it.
Speaking of which, let's look at how this manifests in his work. Take Free Guy. It's essentially a movie about consciousness and free will, but packaged as a mainstream action comedy. The film grossed over $330 million worldwide while secretly exploring deep philosophical concepts.
The way he uses humour as a vehicle for these ideas is really clever. It's like he's found a way to slip profound insights past our mental defences by making us laugh first.
And here's something fascinating. Studies in cognitive psychology show that humor actually increases information retention by up to 40%. So by presenting these complex ideas through comedy, Reynolds might be making them more memorable and digestible.
That makes me think about how different this is from the typical celebrity approach to spirituality or philosophy. It's not about retreating to ashrams or making grand pronouncements.
Exactly, and recent surveys show that while 75% of Americans are interested in philosophical questions about consciousness and reality, only 12% engage with traditional philosophical texts. Reynolds might be reaching people who would never pick up a book on quantum physics.
You know, what's really interesting about his social media presence? He's constantly playing with ideas of identity and authenticity in his posts, reaching over 47 million followers with these subtle philosophical messages.
And what's particularly interesting about his business approach is how he manages to be both incredibly successful. His aviation gin sold for $610 million, while somehow remaining detached from that success. It's like he's found a way to play the game while remaining aware that it is, in fact, just a game.
That brings us back to the neuroscience we discussed earlier. this idea that the self is a kind of useful fiction. Reynolds seems to be treating his celebrity persona the same way.
Well, looking at how technology is increasingly blurring the lines between reality and simulation, having this kind of playful skepticism about the nature of reality might actually be a really healthy approach. Studies show that people who maintain a flexible sense of self tend to be more resilient in facing technological change.
That's such a powerful observation. It makes you wonder what other insights might be hiding in plain sight, disguised as entertainment or humour.
As we wrap up today's exploration, I think we've uncovered something significant about how deep ideas can be transmitted through popular culture. Reynolds isn't just entertaining us, he's showing us a new way to hold these heavy truths lightly.
Well said. Maybe the best way to face the void is indeed with a smile, and Reynolds is showing us exactly how to do that.
Until next time, keep questioning reality, but don't forget to enjoy the show.